Hello and welcome to that video when we're gonna go over why we crave junk food even when we know that it's unhealthy. So ultra-processed foods like donuts, hot dogs, sugary cereals and chips make up nearly 60% of the calories consumed in the US. We all know that these foods are really linked to obesity, diabetes, heart disease and other health problems. But resisting them can feel almost sometimes impossible, right? So you might find yourself reaching out for that bag of chips or ice cream, even though you know it's unhealthy. So why do we crave food so intensely, even when we understand the consequences? In this video, we'll explore the scientific reasons behind those cravings and how food companies take advantage of them. More importantly, we'll share effective strategies to break free from the grip of junk food and get back to a healthier whole food diet. By understanding the biology and psychology at play, you can start to regain control and make choices that nourish your body and your mind. Let's start with the science. Why our brains love junk food. So our desire for sugary, salty and fatty foods have really deep evolutionary roots. For our distant ancestors who lived with food scarcity, a high-calorie foods were a really valuable survival advantage, right? So we are genetically wired to actually enjoy sweet and rich foods because in the wild, they really signals energy-dense nutrition, right? Now, fast forward to today's world of drive-through and vending machines, and that same wiring really works against us. So modern junk foods bombard us with concentrated sugar, fat and salt, far more than anything found in nature, triggering our brain's reward circuits in a very big way. So when you eat, or even when you anticipate eating junk food, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, in the same reward pathway that addictive drugs like cocaine activate. In the moment, this flood of dopamine gives you a short-term high and teaches your brain to want that food again and again. It's a biological reinforcement loop. As one Harvard expert explains, these foods tap into the pleasure centers in our brain, making us focus on the immediate reward and dismiss the long-term consequences. Now, over time, the brain can even adapt by reducing its response, meaning that you might need to eat more to get the same kick, similar to how tolerance develops with addictive substances. Now, junk food also hijacks the hormones that normally regulate hunger and fullness. The sight or smell of your favorite snack can spur the release of ghrelin, right, the hunger hormone, which makes you seek out that calorie-dense junk food. Once you indulge the craving, your body releases another wave of dopamine, locking in a crave, eat, reward, habit loop. Meanwhile, other neurotransmitters like serotonin, often called the happiness hormone, may spike briefly because many junk foods are loaded with quick digesting carbs. That's why you might feel comfort or a lifted mood immediately after munching cookies or chips. But this effect is fleeting. It's followed by a crash that can leave you feeling tired, depressed, or anxious once the sugar high wears off. To make matters worse, frequent consumption of ultra-processed foods can dull your natural fullness signals. Leptin is a hormone that tells your brain when you've had enough to eat. Junk food diets can interfere with leptin signaling, leading to leptin resistance. Essentially, your brain stops responding to the "you're full, stop eating" message, and as a result, you don't feel satisfied like you would normally, which can lead to overeating. And research also showed that a diet high in sugar and refined fats can cause inflammation in the brain's hippocampus, an area important for regulating appetite, potentially creating a vicious circle of increased hunger and cravings. Stress and emotions play a role as well. So when you're stressed or anxious, your brain's habit circuits kick in, and you're more likely to reach for a bag of candy or chips as a coping mechanism. This isn't simply a lack of willpower, it's your brain seeking quick relief. High sugar, high fat snacks can temporarily lower stress by releasing pleasure chemicals. But as we've seen, this is only a short term fix with long term costs. Additionally, eating lots of sugary food can put your blood sugar on a roller coaster. A quick spike followed by a sharp crash that leaves you tired and craving another quick energy hit. This explains why having a donut for breakfast often leads to cravings by noon. Now, let's have a look at the industry practices, right? It's no accident that junk food is so hard to resist because it is engineered to do so. Food manufacturers spend millions of dollars on research and development to make processed snacks as hyper palatable as possible. So they have perfected the art of hitting what we call the bliss point, a term coined by market researcher Howard Moscovich to describe the ideal combination of salt, sugar, and fat that makes the food irresistible. At this bliss point, a snack isn't too sweet or too salty or too rich, it's just right. So your brain gets maximum pleasure with each bite. Add in a satisfying crunch or a creamy texture, and you've got a craveable food that people can't stop eating. Think of potato chips, chocolate chip cookies, or like cheese-dusted corn puffs. They're precisely formulated so that once you start, you almost can't stop. Ever heard the slogan, bet you can't hit just one? Companies also enhance their products with artificial flavors, food colorings, and other additives to entice your senses. So, bright packaging and intense marketing ensure that these items are always in your mind and within easy reach. In many ultra-processed food, fiber and protein, which help, fill you up, are completely stripped away, while extra sugar and fat are added in, making it very easy to overconsume calories before your body realizes that it is full. In fact, a controlled NIH study found that when people were given ultra-processed diet, they ate about 500 more calories per day and gained weight, whereas the same people ate less and lost weight on a whole food unprocessed diet. This shows how strongly engineered foods can drive us to actually overeat. The food industry knows that the more we crave and consume, the more profit they earn. While not all processed foods are inherently evil, the most heavily engineered snacks are designed to hook our taste buds and even dysregulate our brain's food reward system. Knowing this can empower us. We can recognize that it's a scientifically calculated trap and it's not solely our personal weakness. Now, let's have a look at the strategies, right? Taking back control of our cravings. So again, the most important thing for me is to drive education, right? So that when you're aware of all of this information, then you can decide to do whatever you want, right? But at least important thing is for you to have actually awareness of what's going on. Now, the good news is that, understanding the science of cravings do help us fight back with smarter strategies. Here are some effective evidence-based ways to reduce your dependence on junk food and restore a healthier relationship with what you eat. First of all, prioritize whole, unprocessed foods. Start by gradually swapping ultra-processed snacks with whole food that are high in fiber and nutrients. For example, eat an actual orange instead of orange juice. Whole fruits, veggies and nuts or homemade meals will keep you fuller for longer. The fiber in whole foods fills you up and actually reduces your cravings by stabilizing your blood sugar and promoting satiety. A Harvard nutrition expert knows that increasing fiber intake is one of the first steps to curb junk food urges because it leaves you feeling satisfied, not searching for the next sugary fix. Over time, as you incorporate more and more whole foods, your palate can adjust. So you likely find that overly sweet or salty processed snacks become less appealing, and the natural sweetness of a berry or the flavor of a fresh salad becomes much more enjoyable. Second, don't skip protein, especially in the morning. And if you recall, I've got a couple of videos as well on that. So What you eat at the start of the day can set the tone for your cravings. A breakfast loaded with refined carbs and sugar, like pastries or sugary cereal, might give you a quick energy rush, but it often leads to a mid-morning crash and intense junk food cravings. By contrast, a protein-rich breakfast keeps you full and your energy stable. Studies have shown that eating ample protein in the morning, say eggs, Greek yogurt with nuts, or oatmeal with seeds, can significantly reduce cravings for sugary and fatty foods later in the day. In one study, people who ate a high protein breakfast not only felt more satisfied, but they naturally ate less throughout the day and had fewer snacks attacks. Protein helps regulate appetite hormones and slows digestion, keeping your blood sugar steady. So try starting your day with about 25 or 30 grams of protein to set yourself up for success. And remember, there's a couple of videos I've got there with examples of breakfast that fits exactly that bill. Third, stay hydrated and mindful of false hunger. So our brains sometimes confuse thirst for hunger. You might think you need a candy bar, but you're actually just dehydrated. Ensuring that you drink enough water can preempt some cravings. Next time a sudden junk food craving hits, try drinking a glass of water first and wait a few minutes. Often the urge will fade away as your body realizes it was just thirsty, not hungry. Keeping a water bottle handy and staying hydrated throughout the day can help keep unnecessary cravings at bay. Additionally, be mindful of eating cues. Are you snacking out of a true hunger or out of boredom or stress? Sometimes taking a short walk or doing a quick breathing exercise can disrupt an emotional craving and refocus on your mind. 4. Manage stress and emotions without food. Since stress can push us toward comfort eating, finding non-food ways to cope is actually key. When you feel anxiety or tension building, instead of driving into a pint of ice cream, try a quick stress relief activity. Take a walk, stretch for a few minutes, do a short meditation, or call a friend. Those actions will help break the automatic link between negative emotions and reaching for junk food. Remember that stress-induced cravings are just your brain seeking a dopamine soothing. So give it healthier rewards. Even practices like mindful breathing or journaling can, over time, rewire those habit loops. If late night snacking is a problem, establishing a calming bedtime routine, like herbal tea or just light reading, to reduce anxiety and the urge to raid the fridge. Good sleep is also crucial, and I've got a couple of videos around that in the channel. Lack of sleep can increase hunger hormones and cravings, so aim for a consistent sleep schedule to help your appetite regulation. Number 5, plan occasional treats without guilt. Completely banning all of your favorite treats can sometimes backfire, leading to intense cravings or binge episodes. Paradoxically, allowing yourself a controlled portion of junk as part of a balanced meal can help you feel satisfied and reduce obsessive cravings. In a year-long study, dieters who included small servings of the food they craved, like a piece of chocolate or a few chips, alongside otherwise healthy meals, can actually lose more weight and had fewer cravings than those who tried to cut out those foods completely. The reasons is psychological as well as physiological. When you know that you can have that cookie just after a nutritious meal and in moderation, it removes the kind of forbidden fruit effect. You're less likely to spiral out into an all or nothing kind of mindset. So enjoy occasionally treats mindfully, savor them slowly, and you'll likely find 1 or 2 cookies are enough, not the whole sleeve. Balance and moderation can make healthy eating sustainable for the long term. And last, number 6, build a supportive environment. It's a lot easier to eat healthy when healthy choices are convenient. So stock your home and workspace with wholesome snacks like fruits, cut veggies with hummus or unsalted nuts. When a craving strikes, the better option is within reach. If possible, limit the amount of ultra-processed junk that you keep on hand as well. It's much easier to avoid cookies or chips if they're not, staring at you from the pantry, right? Also, surround yourself with people who support your goals. Share your plan with family or friends. Perhaps invite them to join you in a real food challenge or to cook fresh meals together. Celebrate small victories like a week without soda or cooking dinner at home 3 nights in a row, as these wins will boost your motivation. Remember, every step back to whole food is a step towards breaking the junk food cycle. Okay, as a conclusion, craving junk food when we know it's unhealthy is a common human experience. And now we understand why. Our brains and bodies have been hijacked by a perfect storm of evolutionary preferences and modern food engineering. But knowledge is power. By recognizing that those potato chips and cookies are literally designed to light up our brains, we can start to outsmart our cravings. You have the tools to rewrite your habits, focusing on whole foods, keeping your blood sugar stable, managing stress, and allowing yourself mindful treats. All help, retrain your brain's reward system to crave healthier fuel. Most importantly, don't beat yourself up for past habits, right? Feeling guilty only adds stress, which, as we saw, can lead to even more cravings. So instead, frame this as a positive lifestyle change. Every time you choose a bowl of oatmeal over a sugary cereal or reach for water instead of soda, you are strengthening new natural pathway and making it easier to choose the healthy option next time. Over time, junk food loses its grip on you and the vibrant taste of natural foods become more satisfying. You can break free from junk food addiction. It won't happen overnight though, right? But each small change brings you closer to freedom. Remember that you're not alone in this journey. Many people have done it, and you can do it too. By combining scientific insights with practical strategies, you'll not only conquer those cravings, but also enjoy more energy, better health, and the empowering feeling that you are in control of your choices. Your body and brain deserves nourishment of real food. Let's reclaim the joy of eating for health, one mindful bite at a time. Thank you for watching.